All righty. So let me. Let's see. Okay. Let me do it this way. All right. So again, good afternoon, good evening. All right. So let Canvas be your best friend for this class. Again, I cannot speak to any other instructor and the way in which they plan to structure their course, but this is going to be the best mode of communication between you and us as a collective. Each week, Sunday, no later than Monday afternoons, you will receive a weekly announcement. So if you go to your announcement section, I already, I'm a little bit OCD, so my announcements are already done for the full semester. But when you come up, you're going to see what is posted and available. So there was a let's get started message that welcomed you to the class and things of that nature. The next announcement let you know that we were having class this week and that we were meeting in this space. Okay, so each week you are going to see an announcement for that week. It's going to remind you and inform you of what we're doing and what's expected of you. If we're meeting, if we're not meeting, if you have homework, if you don't have homework, all of that is going to be in a quick little 3, 4, 5 sentences each week in the announcement section. They should be coming to your email, but Canvas is Canvas and Howard Technology is Howard Technology. So my suggestion is to you, by Monday afternoon at the latest, check Canvas, go to the announcements and see what is happening that week for this class. Yes? All right, cool. In addition to that, there are a couple of discussion posts. Again, most of them are already up there pertaining to posts and assignments and things that you will do. Some of them will tweak based on what we're doing. Some of them are not quite yet available, but there are a few I want to point out. One is the student lounge forum. If you have any sort of questions that you just kind of want to open or whatever, drop it in here. I will do my best to respond. Someone else, if you're reading it and you see a question that you can help answer, by all means fill it out. This is a community here, okay? So that's the student forum lounge. I used to call it something else, but Canvas on Blackboard, but Canvas calls it that, and I was like, fine. So anyways, it's a student forum lounge, and we'll keep that. The other thing that, there are 2 other things that you're gonna need to do this week. This will be your homework for this week. We're gonna go over the syllabus. You are to copy and paste that with your name and hit reply. This is sort of like your syllabus agreement. So as opposed to downloading a PDF and putting your signature here, you're gonna copy that statement, add your name to the front or back of it, and this will be your syllabus agreement, okay? All right, the other thing that I'm gonna ask that you do for this week, meaning but before I see you in class next week, is the introduction activity. You've already done part of it with your Howard intro, obviously, but then I wanna know, and your peers wanna know, some sort of fun, or tell us, about this summer, like what sort of production or movie or film or whatever you watched this summer that you enjoyed and sort of why, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that when we connect next week. Yes? Am I going too fast? Everybody good and it's kept up so far? Okay, good. All right, moving on to another section, which right now, I haven't put anything in it, so that's why it's not really available. But each week, and we'll talk, obviously, whatever we discuss or materials or things that I want you to review or be able to look at afterwards will be in each of the weeks, okay? So for instance, the Zoom link will go up. So if you ever miss class, my goal is to have something for you, because sometimes it's like, what did you talk about? I may have my points, but sometimes we free flow based on what's happening in the class. And I am not going to remember what I talked about for a whole 90 minutes and what someone else said. I'm just not, right? So that's what the Zoom is here for, so that you can refer back to it. And again, check the announcement section, because it's going to tell you if there was an assignment due or with whatever's coming, okay? All right, I'm trying to think of anything else. That's pretty much it. We're being asked, really, per the university, to do a better job of taking attendance. Typically, I really don't do that, right? I'm gonna say right, like it's a right or wrong thing. I feel like at the collegiate level, it is your responsibility to be in class. It is your responsibility to do your work, because you are making the investment in yourself. And I or no one else can want it more than you want it for yourself. So I didn't really do I didn't make a big deal about attendance as long as your work was done. Now, there is a participation point. So, I mean, you got to be here to participate, right? So that's sort of where that plays a part in. This is an evening class. Life happens, right? COVID is resurfacing. Other germs are just here. You can have death in the family. So something can happen. I just ask that you communicate. Just like something happened, I told you, I'm a wife and a mother. I have 4 children. Something could happen to any one of my children. I have to communicate to you all. I'm in the ER. I cannot make it to class. Please do this reading and etc. I just want that mutual respect and communication. Yes? Yes. Okay. Miss Didi, you need something? Okay. So that's that in regards to just whatever. Yeah. Okay. Let's hop into the syllabus. I hope that you're able to see it. We're going to go ahead and open it up so that you can look at it here. And we will begin going through it. I'm not going to go through it. Again, that's your job. And that's what you're agreeing and assigning and saying that you are responding to. Okay? What you need, Mama?
No, I just need to see how many turkeys.
I just, this switch right here, I just dropped it down and I just plugged in. And it literally found it itself.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I don't think they really went through with anybody. We just had a few minutes to figure it out. Yep, no worries. Absolutely. No, you're good. That's Professor Keita Newborn, guys. She's our stage management teacher and advisor for the production season this year. All right, and then the other person was Miss Didi Fields. She's our production and operations manager. Yeah, so you all will be seeing her. We'll talk about that very briefly. This first 2 pages of the letter is a general letter from us to you as the arts administration area. It's just letting you know what's happening. Professor Robin Harris, if you're interested in the next level of this, which would be like production management, or if you're interested in theater management, those are the classes Professor Harris teach. Professor Parks, he refers to himself as the non-sexy instructor for courses. It's an inside joke because he's doing classes like human resources, arts and innovation, so he calls them the non-sexy classes. They're not non-sexy, it's just an internal joke. But anyways, those are the classes that he teaches. I am me here, and then we have a new instructor, Professor Ashawn Maz. He's joining us this semester to teach fundraising for the arts, and spring semester to teach finance management. Like he sleeps, dreams, and just loves numbers. So if you're interested in, as some of you all mentioned, learning more about behind the scenes and starting your own business, what does that look like and mean in regards to the managing of the finances of it all, then finance management, or if you have room this semester to take fundraising for the arts, because it is online Tuesdays and Thursdays, this time Tuesdays and Thursdays, by all means, take that with Professor Sean Mask. He is magnificent. He's a creative himself. I'm just going on and on about him because he's our newest faculty member. You all know Professor Harris and Professor Parks. But anyways, that's us. That first 2 pages is just letting you know that we welcome you, giving you some tips and things of, just be sure that you are in your right classes. Be sure to check in with your advisor, the ideal student for an arts administrator. Check about these characteristics, these attributes, and be sure that you are exhibiting them. You are diving deeper into your own stuff. What do you have to improve upon to be better in these particular categories? Yes? Okay. Moving on to the full syllabus, the course description is here. All right. The different things that we're going to be talking about behind the scenes administratively, from marketing, which is what we'll kick off with in our this week and next week's topics discussion. Actually, this week is going to be more about mission, but next week we'll talk about marketing and moving on. And we go through all of the design elements. Yes. Now we'll talk about that each week. The goal is not for you to end up being a designer. So, this is not like a Professor Gomes course. We're not sketching and things of that nature, but we are going to talk about what it means that designer may do, and you being an arts creative leader, how you should be communicating with them. Okay, so we'll talk about those different things. And in some cases, when you're first starting out, how you have to be that person. And how can you be that person in a particular space with maybe limited skills and resources, but still be able to pull off a stellar project. Some of those are things that we'll be talking about, okay? All right, so you can read more about that reference text here. These are just solid textbooks. They have newer reiterations. These are just the ones that we actually have physically in the office if you wanted to look at them. But you can look on Amazon and find anything regarding production, and primarily they're going to go through anything regarding behind the scenes from stage management all the way through producing, typically through some of the technical elements. So any of those books are definitely fine. We're just going to take our time kind of hitting a topic, a different topic each week, okay? And we'll go from there. Again, this class is hybrid, so we will be doing things online, we'll be doing things in person, and you will have lab hours, yes? So we'll talk about when you're serving and what that looks like and means. The next bulk of the syllabus is talking about the things you need to be successful in class. Different things that we may be doing. I'm warning you about the recording notice. I do record on Zoom for times people aren't there. If I decided that we're going to have a Zoom class, obviously your face or your picture is going to be there. So that's just letting you know we are recording. I'm not selling this. This is not going to be, yes, it will be on YouTube. It's not public. It's just an easier way to, hold it and down. So, you know what I mean? So it'll be unlisted, but I'm just giving you that warning. So I don't want anybody saying, no, we're not doing none of that. We're just recording for your peers. Yes? Okay. Moving on to some of the things that's going to be happening here, like proper attire. I want to kind of focus in a little bit on this because in our area, Blacks is Blacks, meaning what you're wearing. Typically, I try to wear all black the first day just so I could be an illustration, but typically you are in your Blacks. There are different types of Blacks. We have your business Blacks, and then you also have your tech Black. Yes. So your business Black would be your black slacks, maybe a black skirt or a long dress. It doesn't have to be ball gown. I'm not talking about that. I just mean like business attire. Yes. Maybe it's a jacket, black shoes. Your tech Black may be like your black Dickies or khakis. If you're dealing with set or paint, you may have on a pair of black sweats and a black tee. Yeah, something to that effect. So be sure you at least have one item of each because you never know where you're serving in labs. Yes, you're most likely to be serving in the business Black side with front of house and box office, but some of you may want to venture out and help Professor Jackson with painting or building the set. Some of you all may want to venture out with Professor Stones, Professor Gomes with helping with lighting and sound. Or Professor Bethay in your downstairs in the costume shop, helping to steam garments and things of that nature. So you want to have at minimum one of each. If not two, gives you a chance to wash the other one, and then wear the one that's clean, things of that nature. So let me know if you have any financial problems or you just can't get to a place to get your Blacks. Let me know that now. The goal is to get that now, between now and like Labor Day weekend, because not long after that, you'll be active in your lab hours. Not long after that, Professor, she doesn't like to be called Professor, Miss Dee Dee Fields will be sending out an email form for you to sign up for lab hours. Yes? Okay, so be sure that you're getting your Blacks, yeah? Other things are technology requirements, things that you need to be successful in this class or any other class, things that Howard suggests you ought to have and things of that nature. Classroom decorum. I don't mind food and drink. I just don't want you having a whole sub and you can't get no work. I mean, come on, right? So I understand it's an evening class. You might want to have a snack, a light snack or something to that effect, water or something to drink. Totally fine, but don't come in here with your whole meal and then not provide enough for everybody else. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Participation is a big thing here. Participation is not just what you do here, it's what you do online. There are some assignments that you will be asked, I know, although irritating, you will be asked to respond to your classmate. Why? Because in the real world, that's what we do in theater. It is a collaborative process. Even when you're working with someone doing a one-person production, it's a full team. That one person may be on stage, but they have someone dealing with lights, someone dealing with costumes, and the costume department is huge. That costume designer has a stitcher, they have a presser, they have someone doing alteration, they have someone different doing wigs, someone different doing makeup, someone different doing natural hair. Like that's how large it is. And for those of y'all who are interested in film, if you take the time to really sit and look at those credits or pull up a film production budget, you will see how wide that crew is. Okay, you got camera 1, A1, A2, it is that large for that particular reason. Yes. So just keep that in mind with your own participation. It's your individual participation, but it's also collective when necessary for lab, for assignments and things of that nature. Okay. Also, when you are responding to your peers, don't just say that was nice. Give them some actual feedback the way you would want feedback from someone that is collaborating with you on a project. Yes? Okay, so just keep that in mind. We are typically this weather delay and stuff is more so in the spring semester, because although it's spring, we come back in the dead of winter. So we don't really have like delays and things like that in the fall semester, but anything could happen. So be sure that you have access to this information. The one thing I forgot to update about this, which I hope you all already have, is your Bison app. Yes. So be sure you have that, because we've had all kinds of things and alerts come across there. Yes. So something's happened like a bomb threat, we not gonna be here. We're gonna hop on Zoom real quick, make sure y'all good, and we're not gonna be here, right? So just be sure that you're on the alert. Okay. All right, so the grading scale is a little bit different because I like for you to know up front where your points lie. Each assignment is about 50 points. There are a couple of other assignments, for instance, like your individual project presentation. Letter D here is your final project, is worth 200 points. Labs and homework, 300. So most things are like 50 points each in those sections. So as you begin to add up those points, you'll know where you've landed automatically. You don't have to worry about me doing percentages. When you do your own 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 200, you'll know exactly where you are. Yes, you always start out with an A. How you variate and up and down is based on what you submit and send in. Yes, okay. I also want to just say it's about doing your best. I am not a technician. Okay, so I'm not grading. For instance, if we're doing lighting assignment, I'm not grading your lighting plot. I don't like plot. We're talking about just colors and shades and ideas. Does that make sense? This is about you being creative in the process. If you want to get more technical, go to the tech classes. Okay, this is an intro to production holistically. Yes, I just want to just put that out there as well. For those of you all who are theater majors, you have to have a C or better in any of the theater classes. So this is your class. Don't come out here with no D and gotta repeat it. All right, just putting that out there. This is a breakdown of what the assignments may look like and things of that nature. Again, things that you can read on your own. I may give a quiz here or there, a pop quiz. It just depends. I may tell you that we're having a quiz. It's mainly just studying the information, whatever slides we put up or things of that nature. Okay, so just be sure that you are just keeping up with information. Other general requirements, things like this that are coming from the university. Registration deadlines, things of that nature, assignments being on time. It's just about your deadlines, again, being timely. In the syllabus also, I have listed your course schedule outline in addition to your weekly announcement that will be on Canvas. This is basically what's happening with what we're doing. Yeah, it says when we'll meet. Like I said, we'll typically meet on Mondays. The next 2 weeks, we will meet on Wednesdays as well. And then we go back to just kind of like a Monday situation. So that Wednesdays can serve as your lab hours. Also, by the time we get into production and shows, I'll run through the season list really quickly. We'll get into production and shows. Shows typically may open like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. So you'll be in lab hours during those Wednesdays times, which is again, why we're just go ahead and making them lab. Yeah. So, and then some shows go through the weekend and some matinees. So as soon as we get those official schedules and sign-up sheets, we'll go from there. But again, this just letting you know ahead of time some of the topics and things that we'll go through week by week. And we'll go from there. Our season is pretty full this fall. It's always full, but it's pretty cool this fall. We're continuing our celebration of hip hop, the 50th anniversary. So we are doing a musical hip hop production called Rhyme Deferred. Okay, written by Howard students many years ago, led by Camilla Forbes, who is now executive director for Apollo Theater. And we're talking about Chadwick Boseman and a whole class of them that put together this production. We're not going to see Tyree for a little bit because he's in the production and he has rehearsal like now. So I'm trying to speed through so that he can get to rehearsal. And so he'll be missing a couple of weeks because of that. And we'll look at these Zooms, which is why we're doing them, so that he can stay up to speed. So you all will be helping to support that production in some capacity with lab hours, and we'll talk about that later. In addition to that, our other major main stage production is Black Nativity. And so that will be happening. Have some things in between, some different showcases and cabarets We have Howard Players doing both of their productions. I think they might fuse it into one festival, my understanding. But they're going to do either their 8x10 or another type of play festival this semester as well. So it's a lot happening, a lot of ways for you to gain your lab hours, a lot of ways for you to just understand just various things about just production from various angles. Everything isn't the big bam boom production. There are smaller scale productions that still require spirit of excellence. Yes. All right. Beyond that, are just overall important university dates to keep in mind. When the drop and add period, if you're still struggling or trying to figure out your life of classes, you have until next Friday to do so. Again, Labor Day weekend is coming up, convocation shortly after. We have a mental health day, which is also Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day. The midterm grades are due. I have to double check that date. It seems a little later, but it probably could be correct. And then just some other dates to keep in mind, other holidays, when classes in reading period and final exams. Other things to keep in mind, there are a boatload of university services that you are paying for. So if you need them, please use them, whatever those services may be, including, which I don't remember if it's up here or not, but there are other like mental health services, counseling services, yes? So just remove the stigma, remove the whatever, and do what you need to do for you to be whole and well. Do what you need to do to have peace in you and around you. Yes, even if that means you got to take somebody with you because they're the one that's working your nerve. Do what you need to do. Yeah, it's very important that you do that. Yes, because you want to keep that good footing and you want to maintain that good footing. Yes, okay. I forgot to add homecoming dates. They are in October. Ooh, it'll come to me. Is it something through the 20-something? Okay, we're going to get those homecoming dates. I need to add those up there as well. And then these are other university statements and compliances. These are contractual and sort of legal binding and bounding things that the university are saying that we provide and that you all have access to, and then things that you are supposed to also be doing from there.
It's the
October 15th through the 21st is homecoming. And we'll circle back to that. But the rest of this are, again, other additional statements and things of that nature. And that is the syllabus. Go ahead, Tyree. Are there any questions you all have about the syllabus? Anything that I went through that you're like, could you tell me a little bit more about this? Or how can I? Yes, ma'am. Yes, okay. So then let me come out of this syllabus. Let me close this. And this, for those of you all who are online, the question was about writing their name in Canvas. And what that is referring to is the discussion post. There are two discussion posts that three that you will see. One is the student lounge form. Again, if you have any questions or anything that you want me or another classmate to help answer, you can post it there. The second is the syllabus and course expectations agreement. You don't see it? Do you all not see that in the discussions? Why don't y'all see it? Okay, I'm gonna figure out what's going on. But what you see here on the screen up here and what you should see on your screen on the computer, you're going to take that bold sentence. I agree that I have read the syllabus and course expectations. I understand and will do what is required for me to be successful in this course. You will copy that, put it into the reply chat and put your name next to it. And I think you hit enter or submit, whatever it will tell to you. And you'll do that. Yes, it says post reply. So that's what you'll do. It's copy paste, but you didn't post reply. So I'll figure out what's going on and why you all can't. Okay, I'll figure out what's going on here because here it's saying that it's published, so I'm not certain. So I'll figure out what's going on there, and it published on July 28th. So I have no clue why you all don't see it, but I will figure that out between now and next class period, so that is something that can be done. And the only other thing, which apparently you all don't see, but I will still show you anyhow, is the other post, which is the introduction activity. And again, you're gonna simply do your Howard intro and then tell us about either a production or film that you saw over the summer and just sort of why that either film or production resonated with you or what you enjoyed most about it, okay? And, you know, obviously from a production standpoint, yes? Okay. All right, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, well, listen, I do not believe in tarrying for the sake, for the sake of tarrying. I want it wants to be done and done, yes? So we will meet on Wednesday, same time, same place, and we're gonna start our conversation about mission, and we're gonna hit it from different angles. We'll talk a little bit more about that on Wednesday. So between now and then, read your Howard mission, yes? Read your Howard mission, and then go to CAP COFA's, our school's, college's website, and look at that vision statement as well. Let's talk a little about both of those and your own personal mission. Think about your own personal mission and vision statement. What is that for you as artists and creatives? Yeah, we're gonna kick that off on Wednesday. I will see you guys at 6:10. Yes. All right. Take care. Take care online.